Hi everybody, my name is Mel. I'm usually on the other side of the camera. I usually film for Miss Diane. Now today, I'm going to show you a recipe for potato salad. Now, the recipe calls for 6 medium potatoes. But for me, I don't have really big potatoes, so I have a little bit more than 6. I have about 9. So I have them boiling. And I left the skins on because it's easier to peel them when they're ready, when they're done boiling. Now we don't want them soft where we would use them for mashed potatoes. We want them a little more harder than that. I'll show you when they get ready. Now the recipe calls for 4 eggs. But I'm cooking more because I'm going to make deviled eggs. So here are the eggs. And we usually let the eggs boil for like 10 minutes. I usually like to go to 12, maybe 15 to make sure that they're well done inside. Okay. Now, the recipe calls for a medium onion. So I'm going to show you a way of dicing that. Okay. Now I already have some diced, but I'll show you. I usually cut them in half, and I go like this. Now be very careful because some of the knives are sharp. Mine are sharp. Plus I have professional knives because I am a chef. But because of the coronavirus, I am home just like everybody else. So that's how we want the onions. You want them not big, but you don't want them too small either. Gives it nice flavor. Now we'll go and do some celery. You want maybe 4 celery. Maybe 3, depending on what size they are. I always cut the ends and the tip off. And then I cut them down the middle. And then I just slice them up. And a medium-sized onion. That should be good. So the eggs are boiling. Whoops, my camera fogged up. But they're boiling. So we're going to let them boil for another 10-ish minutes. Okay, so now our eggs are done. I'm going to turn the gas off. I'm checking my handle to make sure it's not hot. It's a little warm, so I'm getting a pot holder. Now, I'm going to drain it in the sink. Again, sorry if my camera steams up. You want to get the hot water out because the eggs will continue to cook. Then what I do is I run cold water over them so it cools them down a little bit, and that way they stop cooking. Okay, now we'll check our potatoes. And they're not quite done yet. They need a couple more minutes. The fork is really not even going through them yet. So we'll just wait for the eggs to cool down. And we'll peel them, we'll slice them. And I guess before we make potato salad, I'll show you how to make deviled eggs. Now, what I want to do is I stomp it around Then slowly take it in my hands and just give it a little squeeze. And eventually the shell will start coming off easy. See? So we got it in a paper towel. Just going to dry it off. Put it on a clean cutting board. Like I said, be careful with the knives. Cut them in half. See? And then I put it in a bowl. And then I lay it flat on the cutting board. And it's okay if it rips a little bit. Okay, our potatoes are done. So give me a second. I'm just going to drain them and run cold water through them. Again, I'm grabbing my pot holders. Now the 4 eggs for the potato salad, we're going to cut this way. They don't have to be perfect, just the little ovals. Then we pick it up and I'm going to put it in the potato salad bowl. We have the inners, okay? Now I'm going to get a fork and a spoon. Alright. We have our minis. And I put in, I don't measure. No chef or cook measures. Any good ones anyway. And I kind of eye it. We'll start with 3 tablespoons of mayo. And we'll mush it around with our fork. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of mustard. Just a little bit. You can use yellow. You can use spicy. I sometimes use the spicy. But not everybody likes spicy mustard. I only put 2 little squeezes in. You only want a little bit of flavor. You don't want to totally change the color of the deviled egg. But a lot of people put different things in. Onions, peppers. You can put whatever you want in. I put a little bit of pepper in. Just a couple sprinkles. Not much. Just enough to give it now. I'm giving away all my secrets today because I also put in adobo. Just a little bit. I love my adobo. I use it in almost all my recipes. It just gives that extra little flavor. Now, that is at the right consistency. We have our flavors in there. Now, I'm going to show you how to... If you don't have a piping bag, it's fine. I make my own. I take a gallon bag. I'm sorry that you can't see my face most of the time, but at least you're getting hands-on of what I'm doing. I put it in the bag. The bag. I'm going to seal it. Well, not all the way. You want to get some of the air out. And then squeeze all the stuff, all the eggs in the one corner. You see how I did that? See how it looks like a piping bag? Now, I'll take a pair of scissors. And I just cut a little hole. Now, it doesn't have to be big. Just something small enough so I can pipe my stuff through. Now we'll place our eggs in here. It's a little tedious, but it's the easiest thing to make. And you can do whatever you want to it. You can make bunny rabbits. There's all different types of things you can do with deviled eggs to make them very pretty. Me, I just do this, and I add a little paprika. That's it. Okay, now we're just going to slowly sprinkle. Whoops, not that much, but just a little bit to give it a little color. Okay, now we're done with that. I'm going to set it aside. I always use a knife to peel the potatoes because it's easier to get the skin off. You're not going to be able to do it with a peeler, and I'll show you why. So again, please be careful when using a knife. See how easy it is? The skin's coming off nice and easy. Okay, I got my peeler. See, it only takes off. Doesn't. See? I like my knife. Doesn't really take it, and it gets stuck in the peeler. So we'll put the peeler away, and we'll just peel the potato. Okay, now that we finished peeling all the potatoes, I put them back in the pot so I could clean off my cutting board. Now, I forgot to show you how to tell when the potatoes are done. So you take a fork, you stick it in the potato. If it can stick in there and just come out nice and clean, and the potato doesn't, I'm squeezing it, and it's not falling apart in my hands, and that's what you want. You don't want them soft, but you don't want them hard either. It's an in-between potato. Okay, now, take my sharp chef's knife. I'm going to cut the potato in half. Again, I'm going to angle the video down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now, let's get that one out of the way. I cut it in half. I'm going to cut it in half again, and then I'm going to cut it in fours. And then I'm going to put it in the bowl. Potatoes. Now I put the onions and the celery already in here. And since I gave out my other secret, I put adobo in already. So we have our bowl of potatoes. We have the mayonnaise. I'm going to use a different spoon for my mayonnaise. I don't use a metal spoon. I use a wooden spoon. And I do a glob. That's one. That's two. And we'll do another. I always have mayonnaise on hand. It goes for 1.5 cups, but you really have to eye it. Not all cooking recipes are accurate, should I say. And I like it to taste. Everybody's different. So I'm stirring it all in right now to see if I need any more mayonnaise. And that's how it should look. Now tomorrow, like I said, you're going to need to add more. But we're not done yet. Right, there's 1 tablespoon. For me, I like a little extra vinegary taste. So I put another tablespoon in. But again, it's all on how you like it. Doesn't have to be an accurate measurement. And I'm following an old recipe anyway. I'm following my grandmother's recipe. And I'm sure she daubered it up a little bit. Now this is supposed to be a tablespoon. I just squeeze it in a little bit. And I'll show you what I do. I just make a swirly thing in it. That's all I do. And then I'll mix it all up. I add pepper, but just a little bit. People can always add to it later. I just do it just a little bit around the bowl. And I'll show you how much I put in. Just a little bit, you know, just to give it a little flavor. And that's the same what I did with the adobo too. And I usually do paprika on top, just to make it look pretty. Then I'll wrap it with saran wrap and put it in my refrigerator. So that's it for today. I showed you potato salad. I showed you how to do deviled eggs. If you guys like these two recipes, maybe I'll come back and have some more for you. Alright, everybody be safe, stay healthy, and God bless. Bye.